The reason I say that this is the show for people trying to get it together while the world seems to fall apart is because that's just what it is. It seems to be falling apart because transitions are hard. And in psychology, there's something called the negativity bias, which essentially makes it so human beings scan the environment for the worst possible thing that could happen, for the worst case scenario. And in that worst case scenario, we tend to miss a lot of the positive and beautiful things that are happening in life. So this developed as an evolutionary thing because millions of gazillions of years ago, if we didn't scan the environment for something negative, then when we heard the sound of a twig snap, if it was a tiger coming to attack us, then we would be dead because the tiger would attack us. And so the negativity bias was a way of helping us to stay alive, to survive. But times are different now. And even though times are different now, that negativity bias had millions and millions of years to become part of our evolution. Whereas the thinking brain, the neocortex, the part that turns off the internal brain alarms, is relatively new, just a couple 100,000 years old. And so to develop a positivity bias, which is what I think that we're living through now on the planet, is the planet learning to develop a positivity bias. But that's hard because we're competing with millions and millions of years of evolution. So it seems like the world is falling apart. It seems like the world is going to hell in a handbasket and that things are hopeless right now. But that's because they're painful and it's because they're unpredictable. But birth is painful, and birth is actually one of the most exciting things that could possibly happen. You're here because of birth. I'm here because of birth. Birth is an act of creation. And yet at hour 10 in the labor process, I'm not a woman, but I can imagine you guys are like, oh my God, can this please be over with? And yet actually it's something beautiful that is being created. Healing is painful. It's a wound that's learning to become a scar and then learning to disappear altogether. But that process of healing, I broke my tailbone last year and I was laid up for 3 months and I could barely move and I had to sit down in the chair ever so tenderly. Side note benefit to that is that I was using butt cushions for a while, and I still keep a butt cushion in my car now just because I'm a convert and butt cushions are actually super comfortable and I'm going to be using one for the rest of my life. So whether you broke your tailbone or not, I highly recommend butt cushions, and I am not an affiliate of the butt cushion marketplace, but they are awesome. So the point is, healing is painful. Healing can be very painful, and yet healing is another form of growth. Muscle growth is painful. We're taking a muscle that's weak or atrophied and we're making it strong. And if we're consistent enough, we're making it swoon worthy. But that's not a pleasant and fun process until you start to get into it, until you start to get used to it. Learning is painful. We go from struggling with a concept, feeling inept, feeling incompetent, like I do right now with the Restream software and trying to play with these fun titles like that one, oh, look, Hot Mess Life Coach. But I don't know how to do these super well. I'm learning this platform and it's painful. I have to tell you, it's a struggle to not feel like you have it all together, to not feel competent and confident and profound and wise and funny, all in the very first time you try something out. But as you learn through struggle, it becomes second nature, and then it starts to become fun, and then it starts to become worth it.